What's up? What's up? What's up? I am waiting for everybody to get in the room. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's me. The Empress is in the building. How is everybody doing on this Saturday? All my royal official royal maymays at. What's up, Miss Shirley? How you doing? You my girl. I gotta send you something. You gotta send me your information, Miss Shirley, so I can be able to send you something special because you one of my favorite subscribers. What's up, Lorraine? What's up, Random? How you doing? What's up to my official Maymays? Y'all are official, honey. Those are limited edition fans y'all got in the mail. And the ones that I couldn't send overseas because it was so expensive to send. I thought it was expensive only going to send to China, but man, they are tripping on these prices to send stuff overseas, y'all. I mean, like stupid prices. I was like, what? I'm like, this don't even weigh a pound. So yeah, so I sent special things to some of my others, one of my subscribers. Because I'm the type of person like this. You guys have to understand. You all take time out of your crazy lives, just like I take time out of my crazy life. But you all take time out of y'all crazy life to come on here and hear me talk about my crazy life. And I appreciate it. I've told other people I am a very small person on YouTube. Okay, very small person on YouTube, and YouTube is a big pond, baby, and I am a tiny little fish. And you all take time to come over here and hang out with your girl on Saturday. So that's my way of sending my appreciation to you and thanking you guys for being my subscribers. I don't know if I'll do that again. If I come up with another cute thing, I may do it again to for some of the newbies that are coming in as being subscribers, because I got some new people that have subscribed and reached out to me and stuff like that in the comments, and gave me some great recommendations for some new dramas that are coming up. Y'all see I have posted my final thoughts on different stuff that we talked about last week. Thank you, Lorraine. And yes, it's ridiculous to ship anywhere. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, what the fuck? And this was stuff I wanted to send back to Amazon, not to somebody. You know how you buy shit on the internet and then you get it and it's some bullshit and you send it like, this is not what the hell I bought. And then to send it back through PayPal or whatever, they want you to send it back, and then the amount is more than what the actual object costs. So it's like, it's not even worth it. But I wanted to get on here to talk about, we got two things today we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about some of the Chinese dramas that are coming up, and Pat's adventures. Adventures with Pat in dating and with friends. I think I had a couple of people who saw that, my friends that saw it. It's like, girl, you got to tell about this. You got to tell about that. And I was like, yeah, those are hilarious. But I've had some hilarious dates. Not all my dates have been strange, but you have in my 48 years of being a woman. You can have some crazy shit that happens to you on dates and some crazy ass people that you meet. That this shit got to get wrote down somewhere, somehow. So the upcoming dramas that I have been peeping out as of late is, I want to see The Wolf. I'm not sure if any of you all have seen that. That has our boy that played inside of Untamed inside of it. That is out right now. It's out right now, but I'm not sure where to find it. So I got on here to talk to my maymays to tell me exactly where I can find The Wolf. Okay. I think what is her name? Rebecca was saying that she was watching that at one point, but she's overseas, so I don't know where I can find this. I've been looking everywhere for it, and I have not been able to find it. It's not on WeTV. It's not on Viki. It's a couple of things that are going to be coming up soon on Viki that I have been peeping out, but they're not available as of yet. And the other drama that I have been watching is the God of Fantasy. What I got it played in Oh My General with his little cute self. I don't know, y'all. Is he gay? Because I wonder about him. You know what I'm saying? I think it's out. I think it is out. And I don't know where to find it at. It is already out, but it's not available to us in the US yet. I'm not sure when it's coming out, Miss Shirley. But in the gods of fantasies, it's a slow, I'm gonna be completely honest, it's just a slow takeoff. I would think by episode 10, we should be good and into this drama. It is a very slow paced situation. This particular drama, I was looking forward to it because I really wanted to see the actor that played in Oh My General when the general was a woman. I love that drama with her and the guy. At first, when it first came on, Oh My General, I was like, what the hell am I watching with all of these androgynous looking dudes with fans going and they were dancing, they were friends. It was hilarious. But so when this guy finally got another drama, I was like, because he was very cute in Oh My General and somewhat sexy in his own little way. I'm sitting back. What's up, Liango? I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, what is going on with Gods of Fantasy? I'm like, this is taking too fucking long to take off. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to hang in there because my boy is playing, he's starring, but it's just too slow. And if you haven't checked out Gods of Fantasy, basically it's about a boy who's adopted into this kind of military family. And he's got a girl that he is digging in the beginning. This bitch sits up here because he's got some kind of blind pulse or some crazy shit. I don't even know what that means, but it's derogatory. And I guess what it does is it stops your ability to, I guess, do martial arts or do it well or whatever your chi is to make, strange shit come out of your hands. Anyway, she sits up here and says, because you have a blind pulse, me and you are from different worlds and all this other stuff. And then she's got another situation going on with a guy who's got a little bit of dough. You know what I'm saying? He rich, he in the right spaces, right places, and all this other stuff. And this boy's been helping her through everything. And he sits up here, helps her, and basically she disses him. He ends up basically his family's on some extra. His family's not on some extra shit. The people around their families on some extra shit that want to take their family down and basically, get rid of them and replace them with somebody else. People trying to move their way up in the court, okay, or be around the circle of the emperor. All right. Now, this guy sits up here and says, I want to go to this specific school, but they say, your shit ain't up to par yet or whatever. After he gets told off by this girl, basically heartbroken, he ends up falling someplace and gets this thing that goes on his chest, and this thing makes everything good with him. Okay, he got powers, he can do some certain shit, and when people try to kill him, they can't kill him. Anyway, now mind you, all this shit right here is barely, this is episode 4 at this point, what I just told you. That's how slow this shit is moving. Okay, so what's up, everybody? What's up? So what ends up happening is that this guy, he sits up here, he got these powers now. They done got his family out here at this tournament or whatever, where they sit up here and choose what school you can be able to apply to or be admitted to. This girl gets up there, she's confident after she done broke this boy heart and all this bullshit. And she confident she gonna win. She gets up there, she gets basically almost to this thing where you would be the person that wins and everybody else loses. Well, they made his family look so bad and basically, told him, y'all ain't shit to their face in front of everybody at this thing. And this boy was like, no, you're not finna dog my family like this. So he goes up there and they say, well, you have blind pulse, you can't do this, you're gonna get hurt and da 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 da. He goes ahead and does it because us as the viewer know he got some extra shit going on with him now. So he goes up there, smashes everybody's face because he gets up there not only to the top of the stairs, but he also hits the fucking thing and everything is all good. This girl's looking like, oh, I done fucked up and said the wrong shit to this man, okay? And one of the girls, the girl that he would end up being the love interest while he was walking up these stairs or whatever, ends up helping him with his, with this particular admission. So this heifer that told him off and basically said, I didn't want to be bothered with him, broke his heart. He done with this bitch and her family, because basically the family wants to, step on other people to get where they got to go. They all get into the school and stuff like this. This bitch feel a certain type of way because she made her move too soon. Okay. And it's a lot of shit going on. It's a lot of shit. You got the crown prince with his situation going on, and you got this girl with her family basically pushing her out of a relationship with a guy that she really liked, but she ends up walking with her family anyway and doing what the fuck her family told her to do. All right, and it's her fault that she ain't with him. She opened up her mouth, said some wicked shit, and got fucked up, and that's it. So that's where this is leaving off, because I don't want to tell y'all everything about this. But so far now it's starting to pick up where you kind of want to watch it. I done got to episode 22, and I'm watching it on YouTube. It's called The God of Fantasy. It's with the guy who played in Oh My General. If you saw Oh My General, where the general was a woman and he was her husband, that guy, he's really, really cute. And that's the reason why I wanted to watch this. And they got some cute boys in here. They all right. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody flying off the table but him. But I'm not sure if they're going to make him even cuter as he gets older or what. But that's one that I'm watching. The other one that I think you all may like, this was out 2 years ago. It's called Rule the World. I'm not sure if any of you all have seen this drama. Let me know if you've had. It's called Rule the World. Okay. Well, somebody had a girl by the name, I think her name is Samantha. She's one of my new subscribers. She basically said, check out Rule the World, because I was watching, what is that? Shao Chun, The Legend of Shao Chun. And she's like, this is an alternative. And baby, it is a good alternative, because it has got me all up in it. Okay. It's got me all up in it. And I'm watching that. And I had to make myself go to sleep last night because that's how much I was into that particular drama. And it's pretty good. It's available on YouTube. So if you want to see that and watch that, and let me know what you think, because I'm into it, because it's got all the drama, it's got the fights with the brothers. Rule the World. Yes, it's out. It is out. It is out, Miss Shirley. It's on YouTube right now. It's 46 episodes, and the whole episode, all the episodes are on YouTube right now. Is a snooty cunt. Was a snooty cunt. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. Is there one who travels back in time? The one, yeah, she travels back in time. Exactly like Angle. Yep. She travels back in time. I like it because it's got all the elements that I want to see in it. And it also, it gives a weird ass taste. What's up? Hi, Mrs. Tay S. Hello, hello, hello. We got a new Maymay, y'all. I know everybody who been here. So this is a new Maymay. But you all know that I like dramas that have a different twist on it. Now we have an emperor that actually takes a little girl whose father he has killed and raises her up to be his woman. Okay, we talking about a little ass kid you watch grow up, and you're gonna end up marrying it. It was just too weird. I was like, and I was right with her, like, no, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was mistaken. I thought Rule the World was the big fan bling drama. Nope. Rule the World is something totally different, y'all. I hate wearing black lipstick. It always ends up cracking and doing weird shit. What's up? Y'all make our new Miss Tay S. Make her feel welcome, y'all. She is a new Maymay to the group. And like I said, this particular drama called Rule the World, it definitely does have another spin on some weird shit. That's some weird shit. But I'm here for how stubborn this particular little girl is in this. And how a relationship that you never know may end up coming out of a situation will happen, even though she was basically holding her soon-to-be man as a little baby, and Believe it or not, that has happened to me. It happened to me a long time ago, y'all. Long time ago. Before I was old, but this person actually was a baby when I knew him, and then eventually, and later on in life, we did date. That's crazy as hell. Yeah, I did that shit. Thank you so much, Yasmin. What's up, Miss Parks? Tracy is in the house, Miss Parks. I'm sorry, Miss Parks. I like their last name. We used to have a teacher that I used to bother all the time on my job when I was a teacher. We used to call her Miss Parks. So yeah, so those are a couple of the dramas that I have been following. I'm not sure what you guys are watching right now, but God of Fantasy is what I'm watching right now. Rule the World is the other. Shut up, man. Yeah, I did the cougar shit. I was like 33. Now, you know this a long fucking time ago. I was like 33. Did some stupid shit. That was stupid. Oh, okay. Oh, all right, Miss Tay. She's been a subscriber for a few weeks, and now she's finally got a chance to see us. So thank you so much for popping in on us today. So, but yeah, I did some stupid shit like that. Yeah, I was a cougar for 5 minutes and then woke the fuck up. Yeah, I was waiting on more of the promise of Cheyenne to get in to come out on Vicky, and the reason why is because it was some parts that were up there, but they were like 46% in English, and I can't stand that shit. So what I said was, before I get invested in a particular drama, what I was going to do is I was going to wait till they got some more episodes uploaded before I started watching. You watching The King's Woman? I watched The King's Woman too. I watched it, got upset with it. I was all over the place with that shit. I was just like, ah. And all the Korean Evil Flower, yes, baby. I started watching that, and I said, before I get all into this shit, let me get into something else. I had to finish the Misty Pop-Up Bar. You know? Yeah, they do. They do. I ain't gonna lie. They do have more energy. But at that time, that was the dumbest shit I ever did. I ain't gonna lie. So, yes, I was angry. The King's Woman had me all over the place. I was a mess with The King's Woman. I was like, even how we ended, I was like, ah! And then I think another one, I don't know if you all ever saw The Journey of the Flower. That was good. Y'all know which character was my character, honey. Big sis. Big sis. Big sister was my character. I loved him. Okay, and if you ain't never seen Journey of the Flower, go ahead and look at that shit. Look at that shit, because that was another one of my faves. That was another one of my faves, baby. That's one of those teacher loving a young girl type situations. Yeah, I couldn't stand him. Now the king in that inside of the king's woman, that's my boy. He always ends up in fucked up dramas where bitches is leaving him or don't like him, or he done fucked up the relationship in some type of way. If y'all ever peep certain characters, because he was in Eternal Love where he fucked up with Lil Five. I was like, damn. But anyway, on to Adventures with Pat. I got a story for y'all. Adventures with Pat on dating. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever had certain types of guys that you when you meet them, it's like, you ever seen them church boy guys that's like real churchy, straight up and down? They kind of like, dry ass toast. Ain't nothing about them that you see that's gonna be fun or anything like that. Well, this particular guy I knew when I was in college. All right. And when I was in college, I was way more wild and way more arrogant. So he was definitely not my speed, but he was a nice person. And me, I'm never gonna front on anybody. Okay. Now, he was talking, he liked me and was always following me around. And anytime he saw me, you know, on the campus or whatever, he always came to see something. Came to see me and talk to me. And I'm like, yeah, not my type, not my speed. And especially when you're around people, you telling jokes and this motherfucker's the only motherfucker that ain't laughing. Why would I want to be around him? So my roommate started to be interested, and I'm like, girl, take him off my hands. You can have that motherfucker back. Yeah. So she went on here and started dating him, and all of a sudden they abruptly stopped dating, and she did not want to talk about why they stopped dating. And I was like, you know, I have my own little life and my own little crew that I was hanging out with in college, so I didn't have time to stop to ask. And fast forward into 20 years later, out of college, I was walking downtown after coming out of Macy's, but feeling real fucking stupid for buying a $130 bottle of cologne because I smelled it. And I was like, oh my God, I must have this. I have to take this home. And then I'm sitting up here at the cash register with my credit card saying, not my credit card, but my ATM card saying, whew, $130 for some Dior J'adore cologne, or put this motherfucker back in your pocket. So I'm doing like this between me and the damn cashier. And she finally snatched the motherfucker out of my hand and said, bitch, you go, this cologne, get on your way. This perfume. So I'm walking down the street feeling like an ass for buying this goddamn cologne. And I bump into him. And he's like, hey, Patricia. I'm like, now people who call me Patricia have to know me from way back when, because I don't even go by Patricia. I go by Pat. The big bottle, Miss Shirley, the big bottle, okay? $130 is a big ass bottle, but it wasn't big enough for that much motherfucking money, okay? All right, so anyway, he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, what's up? What's going on with you? Now I'm a nicer person than I was when I was like, what, 18, 19 years old. And he was like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I asked him how he's doing. He asked me how I was doing and all of that other stuff. So I bought the damn bottle like a dumbass. Like I told you, me and the cashier was doing this. I'm like, shut up. And she snatched the motherfucker out of my hand. So anyway, we go back and forth. He's like, you know, give me your number or whatever. We can go ahead and go to dinner or lunch or something like that. So I'm like, you seem like you got some goddamn sense. Okay, fine, whatever. He ends up calling me and says, hey, would you like to go to lunch? And it happened to be a day where it was a slow day at work. And I was like, sure, why not? And then later on, I ended up getting called back because we were going to end up going to court about something, emergency order or whatever. So I was like, you know what, I can't go. So it's like, can we postpone this to later on in the evening when I get off? He's like, sure, no problem. So he says, meet me at the firehouse in Chicago. I was like, the firehouse? Okay, you got some coins. So I was like, all right. So I'm like, that's a good. Okay, this is a grown ass man. He know what your girl like. I know all of the head restaurants and all the swanky ass places to go get a drink. So trust me, when he said the firehouse, I'm like, okay, he got some sense. I can hang out with him. So I go to the firehouse, I meet him. We eat outside. It starts raining and everything and stuff, and we're sitting under this gazebo or whatever. And we just talking back and forth. And he sits up here and says, straight, you know, he had this Black Enterprises book with him. I was like, I said, he said, you know, I said I was a little late because I had to pick this up. And I was like, what's going on? And he was like, I'm in here for one of Chicago's most eligible bachelors. I was like, oh, okay. Good for you. Congratulations. And he sits up here and says, I said, so why are you most eligible bachelor? You ain't found a woman yet and all these other situations. And, you know, I'm getting all in the business, but I'm not really interested in him. I wasn't interested in him back then. I wasn't then. I'm just having a good conversation. And he sits up here and like, no, I'm just, he says, I'm a serial dater, so don't get offended. And I'm like, okay, not a problem. I wasn't looking for a relationship anyway. So that's good. You right up my alley. So, he was like, hey, so we continue to talk. And he's like, it's so romantic out here with it raining while we're eating. I'm like, honestly, I don't find this shit romantic. I find it very wet and humid, but okay. So I ended up saying, he's like, well, later on, do you want to go somewhere with me? I was like, well, where do you want to go? I was like, how late? And he was like, well, would you like to go now? And I was like, well, it's almost about 8 o'clock. So cool. Why not? So he said, I said, where are we going? And he's like, oh, just to a little, a little robust bar. I said, okay, I'm game. We go, and when we get to this place, it's a parking lot, and it's this big black warehouse, and it's just a door, and all of these. Now the parking lot is filled with nothing but foreign and expensive ass fucking cars. Anytime you see Lamborghinis and shit like that on this whole, I'm like, what the fuck? Where are we going? So we go up to the door. He puts out a card and he puts it through the slot. The man takes it and he's like, who's with you? He was like, he called himself something. And he said, and a vanilla. He said, oh, he said, I'm eight. He said Ace and a vanilla. And I was like, okay, this is some secret agent shit. Okay. So we go in and we walk down this big black hall full of nothing but lights. And then their doors open, black doors open, and there's this really nice, gorgeous bar. Okay. I'm like, oh, this is cute. I ain't never been to this shit. I done journeyed all over Chicago and found every fucking strange place that possibly could in this motherfucker. But this was so off the beaten path shit. And I was like, okay. So he was like, go see. He said, go find us a booth. So the booth, this is some real goth looking, real cool looking shit that I would be like, this is it. I'm into this. So I go and find us a booth, and he's over getting drinks. And I'm sitting there. I slid over in the middle or whatever so I can do the territory thing. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, two people come and sit right up close to me. I mean, I ain't talking about like I'm talking right here. And I'm like, yeah. And they start rubbing on my leg. This bitch is bothering my head. I was like, hold on. What the fuck is going on here? I'm like, can I help you? And they were like, oh, you are so pretty. Oh, you're cute. Would you like to play with us? I'm like, play with y'all? What the fuck is going on? I'm like, oh. And then he goes over, hey, she's a vanilla. She's a vanilla. Don't bother her. Don't bother her. She's new here. And they were like, oh, we're so sorry. She's cute though. And I was like, the fuck is wrong with these two motherfuckers? So they get away, and he was like, I'm gonna go back and get the drinks. Don't go nowhere. I was like, okay, go ahead and go. So meanwhile, he comes back with the drinks, and then they sit up here and they do this thing of the sound that goes off over the sound, in the speakers, like womp womp. And I'm like, okay. And this woman comes on saying, well, all the vanillas, please meet. And the gallery, by the gallery doors, the gallery is about to open. And I was like, okay, what is this? He said, go ahead and go. So he gives me my drink. And I'm gone here like a silly motherfucker. Like, okay, this shit at the damn booth didn't bother me. It still got me somewhat off my square, but I'm letting that go. So I walk on with the other people and stuff like that. And then there's another group walking behind us, and he's walking with that group, and he's just got this grin on his face. So I was like, okay. I'm like, what is this? And he was like, it's something like art. And I'm like, okay. So I go walk, and then this door opens, and it's a big hallway with plexiglass going all the way through it, and it looks like how a museum would look, like like a gallery, a gallery and museum. So at the first one, we are standing there, and then all of a sudden the curtain opens up, and there is a naked woman on an X like this, tied up, and this guy with a beautiful body, you know what I'm saying, and a mask on, uh, basically rubbing, oil all over. I'm like, okay, what kind of shit is this? So I'm sitting over here looking at this shit, and then he just rubs on her, and she's just doing her normal, thing. I'm like, okay. He then lights this bitch on fire. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? Everybody turns around and looks at me like, I'm like, y'all not seeing this shit? Okay, so, and then he puts her out very sensually. But he puts her out, and she's in ecstasy, I guess. I'm like, who the fuck does this? Once again, everybody turns around and looks at me. And I'm like, what the fuck is y'all killing people up in this motherfucker? I mean, what the fuck is really going on? And meanwhile, everybody's steady looking at me because I'm the only person talking who's finding this a bit disturbing. Now, sidebar, y'all. Who the fuck gets into setting themselves on fire? Okay, I just like, when did this shit start with you? That's all I want to know is how do you get into shit like that? Anyway, I'll sit back and I'm like, okay, y'all done fucked my whole understanding up. And he leans over and says, there's a thin line between pain and ecstasy. I'm like, pain and ecstasy ain't got shit to do with burning motherfuckers up, okay? I'm not setting people on fire. So we move on to the next. We move on to the next exhibit. The curtains open up. There's a man tied up with his hands over his head, legs spread apart, and there's this woman that's there. Now, this bitch was dressed bad as a motherfucker. I was like, wow, I love this outfit this bitch got on. I'm like, whoa. So I'm looking at her outfit, and I'm not really getting what the fuck is going on here. She walks around him and sits up here, touches on him and all this shit, and then out of nowhere with her steel-toe boots, she kicks this man in the nuts. I'm like, oh, oh, and I'm like, first of all, he was brave already for being up there with this little teeny weeny he had and these little peanut peanut nuts that he had going on. He was really bold already, okay? And then she goes and kicks him right square in the nuts, and he's like, do it again. And I'm like, why? You're like, you already ain't got no dick, man. What the fuck? I mean, everybody was down laughing. I'm like, I'm sorry, but he ain't got no weenie already. So he already done got these little tiny ass nuts. What the hell is going on? So I'm like, she don't need to kick him nowhere else. He's already fucked. So basically, she kicked him in the nuts, and it was. I didn't see where there was no sensuality in that shit. Okay, I did not. I'm like, this shit is too much for me. Where the fuck am I at? Everybody's down laughing at me. Okay, so it's like moving on. I'm like, I can't take no more of this shit. So we get to the third one. They open up this curtain again, and there's this woman in this contraption, and at every hole she got, they going in. They strange sex. I said, that's it. I got to go. I'm not grown enough for this shit. I got to go. Okay, so I'm like, I gotta go. I'll wait for you in the goddamn bar room. I can't do this. I cannot do this. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I don't walk my ass up in here, y'all, but I got to go. Okay. So I'm sitting out there, and I was like, I'll wait for you. Y'all can finish the exhibit. I'm done. So I sit up here and I'm waiting out there, and this woman walking this man. This man is on a chain. This man is literally on a leash. This is the bitch with the badass outfit that when I first saw. She got two men on leashes. Okay, and imagine, none of these people are really attractive at all, except for the people who are kind of dressed up and I guess into this thing. They are gorgeous, but these people that's walking around in here with me, these are not the most attractive motherfuckers on the planet. So she's got these two men on leashes, and one of them is steady coming around my feet. Now I've got on high heel badass shoes, and my shoe game is tight, y'all. So I'm sitting up here like this motherfucker sniffing around. I'm like, what the entire fuck is going on up in this place? Foot fetish. She was like, would you like, he's like, he has a foot fetish. Would you like to entertain him? I'm like, oh, what the fuck is a foot fetish? And this motherfucker starts kissing on my toe. I'm like, okay, I got to get to the car now. This shit is beyond me. This shit beyond me. Like I said, I'm not grown enough to be in this motherfucker at all. This motherfuckers were literally damn near on hind legs. Please, please. I'm like, oh, come on. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. So the dude, imagine these men that had nothing on but drawers, underwear, little leather drawers, and a collar, and it was just, y'all, too much. We get in the car, I was like, look, I've never been in no shit like that. I didn't even know shit like this in Chicago existed. He was like, well, you've come into the elite world of play. This is a playground. And I was like, a playground? And he was like, people call it a dungeon, but this is my playground. And I was like, okay. You definitely grew up to be some strange motherfucker. Now I can see why you are on the bachelor list. Okay. Ain't no bitch gonna deal with that shit. Okay. So I was like, anything else? He's like, and I wanted to tell you I'm a Don. I'm like, what the hell is a Don? He said, do you understand what a dominatrix is? I'm like, yeah, them bitches that beat men. And he's like, yeah. He said, well, I'm the male version of that. I was like, oh, so you like whooping on women and shit? You know, I'm taking this as you like get bitches and start, tying them up, beat the shit out of them or something. He's like, it's not like that. And I was like, there's no violence in what I do at all. I was like, okay. I said, well, I ain't into none of that shit. None of that. I'm a regular motherfucker. I ain't into all of that. I was like, thank you for the date, but no, this is not my scenes. I was like, I thank you for taking me. It was very educational, but not. Okay. And I was like, that's the end. I was like, I am never seeing this motherfucker again. Okay. This shit is way over my head. So he calls me up and he sits up here and says, did the date really disturb you that bad? I was like, that was something I'm not used to. Thank you for letting me know. It was an experience, not one I want to repeat. I said, but I'm good. That's not someplace I want to go or see again. So I said, thank you, though. I appreciate that. I really do. And he was like, well, I'd like to make it up to you, just something normal we could go to or whatever. I was like, I'm pretty good on dates with you right now. And he was like, Pat, don't be that way. I really want to make it up to you. I want to take you someplace. Your birthday's coming up. Fine. I was like, okay, fuck it. I said, just as long as it ain't no strange shit like that, we cool. And he was like, okay. Now, when he was kind of hesitant on the okay. So I said, he comes and picks me up, and he was like, okay, one, I don't like going someplace without my own car. I've hated that, but he was like, I really need you to come with me this way because I want to go out to Rosemont. Now, Rosemont is basically a place where concerts happening, and he knows I love music, so I'm the type of person, okay, if it's about music, cool. All right? I'm thinking it's about music. So we get to Rosemont, and first of all, when I saw him, I'm looking at him and what he's wearing, and I'm like, I had to be about this happened in 2014. So this is not that long ago. I'm in these clothes and I'm dressed up. Now this supposed to be my birthday weekend. The bitch is killing it. All right. So I get on my little heels and everything, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, bruh, what is you wearing? First of all, and I am that blunt, y'all. I do not play when it comes down to being going out with me. I'm like, if you walk around looking like a fucking sunbeam in a satin outfit or some strange orange shoes, looking like the damn colors of a rainbow or a bag of Skittles, bitch, you're not going nowhere with me. And I am serious as a heart attack. Okay. So he had on a leather vest and leather pants. And mind you, he ain't got the body to fuck with none of that. Okay, so I'm like, what are you wearing? And he's like, well, and this, you don't like what I'm wearing? I'm like, no, I don't. Not with me looking like this, and not with me even looking like that with just jeans on. No. And he's like, well, he said, well, right now we're on a time schedule. I can't change. Da 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 da. I'm like, ain't this a bitch? I gotta go out here looking, not stand next to this motherfucker like a damn misfit. So I'm like, okay. So I go and we get in the car. We get to Rosemont. He gets out of the car like he's dashing. And I'm thinking, is he running so he can get something taken care of before I get there or something? Maybe it's a surprise or something. So I go with it. I get out of my car. Guy's like, ooh, you fine. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, okay, whatever. I finally catch up to him because now I got to do like a slow jog, and there's so many people to keep up with him. He's still in front of me. Now, he somehow gets away from me, and then we get up to the area where you have to pay, and they tell me it's $50 to get in here. And I'm looking for him, and I can't find him. So I got to pay $50. Now, this bitch is pissed. because you're supposed to be taking me out. Okay? So I get in, and then there's this big black curtain that spans all the way out here. So this looks like some type of convention at this point. Or I'm thinking it's a concert, but no. So this big, as I get in, I'm like, this looks like a convention. So there's this big black curtain, and then once you get to a certain part, you show them your ticket, you get in, and the first thing I'm greeted by are walking vaginas and penises saying, "Hi, welcome to the the exotic convention, the erotica convention." I'm like, what the fuck? I just paid $50 to get into a fucking freak show. I was done. I was fucking done. I was like, oh my God, erotica. That they have an erotica convention that comes to Chicago. Now, he finally finds me, and I said, "Do you know I just paid $50 to get up in this motherfucker? And this is the erotica. I didn't ask to come to this shit." I was like, he was like, "Oh, don't." He said, "Don't be that way, Pat. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it." There's women walking past me. There are women walking past me with literally suckers shaped like dicks. Okay, shaped like penises. Okay, I'm like, okay. This is not my scene at all. Women have dress. You got dominatrixes beating the shit out of men in the corner. All kind of crazy shit going on over here, y'all. You got the girls on the pole on the stage. All kind of crazy shit. Now I'm walking. Y'all know me and these fucking feet. Okay, I'm walking, and I guess they had this phony grass that was on, and by me having on stilettos, it got caught in the grass. I go down. About 5 fine ass men though. Help a bitch up. And I'm like, well, thank you. Okay. He done seen this shit. He ain't moved. He's over here. After they get me up, he comes to me saying, "Could you take this picture of him and this strange, I guess, woman who took off clothes? Okay, who took off her clothes. She's what do you call that? One of those people who do the movies or whatever, the X-rated movies, a porn star that he likes so much." He comes after I done did damn near face plant, and these guys pick me up. The first thing he asked me is, "Could you come over here and take this picture for me?" I go over here, and he's like, "This is a porn star. She's charging you $40 to take a picture with your phone." I go ahead and take the picture for her. I'm like, you know what? I am beyond pissed off. And when I get pissed off, I smile. Because there's 5 seconds for me getting ready to whoop your ass. So I'm sitting over here like, I cannot imagine this. So I'm trying to be nice. And he was like, "We're going to get ready to leave in a minute." He goes over here to the whip area. And I'm sitting there, he's cracking whips. Cracking whips. And what got me is that he sat over here, cracked the whip near me. And I stood up there and took my fucking shoe off. I said, "Bitch, I will whoop your ass in this motherfucker. You already got me in this motherfucking place. These creepy ass motherfucking white folks all over the place. What the fuck is going on?" I'm like, "I'm done. I'm going to fuck home now. Okay, I am fucking done." Mind you, I get separated from him because I done stomped off. Okay, one heel on, one heel off. Stomped off. I'm mad to the motherfucker right now. These cute ass guys come on talking about, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, can we take pictures with you?" Now all of a sudden I'm getting bombarded by a bunch of motherfucking strangers I've never met in my entire life asking me to take pictures with them at the freak show in Chicago. Okay? I'm sitting over here like I am in here with Captain Freaky, and I done met all his motherfucking clan. This is ridiculous. Okay? So before I can get out of here, I'm getting asked by taking everybody to take pictures with everybody. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck gonna think what I am by the time this shit is over with. But anyway, we go over, and I'm trying to find my way out of this place, and I end up getting in this maze type area where they have people that like getting tied up. act. I mean, like knotted, tied up, fucked up, tied up, in the air, tied up, on something tied up. It's really fucking weird. And then not too far over there, why is it that the guy that tried to get at my feet was over there talking about, come here, I'll give you a free foot session? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I was out of there. I literally was out of there so fucking fast. I had never been on a date like that. I called a cab outside. I said, "This motherfucker ain't even got to. He ain't even got to take me home. I'm done. I'm fucking done." It was beyond crazy. And this man is running around like he is at Great America, and he's a 5-year-old child. He is just happy, 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 happy. Where he was, that was the worst. That was one of the worst dates I had ever been on, and trying to give a person another chance type situation, y'all. Adventures with Pat, they never, ever, ever get you wrong. So be careful of these guys that look normal and ain't, and they in their 40s and shit like that, and they ain't never been married, and they tell you they are serial daters. They are serial daters for a reason, okay? They are serial daters for a reason. Please be careful. What you say? Then the movie came out. I look, that was awful. My mother was there so loud. When I told my mother about that shit, she was like, "What?" I was like, "Yes, this motherfucker's a nut." Did he call? Yeah, he called me after that. He always calls me. He calls me to this day. You can't call the police, Miss Shirley, to raid a place. That was a convention. It was a convention for everything and anything to do with sex and then the weirdest sex, kinky sex, all that shit. Any kind of thing of sex you doing, they had it going on there. After I left, he sat up there like, I was just trying to, get you comfortable with the thought of alternative situations. And this is the reason why he did this to me and peeped this. He was like, you're a very stern woman, and it just felt like you were sort of uptight, and I wanted to show you another way to be able to relax. I'm good. I don't feel like I'm uptight. I don't never need to be that relaxed. I don't want to be so relaxed that I got people set me on motherfucking fire. Okay, or I gotta kick the man that I love in the nuts. You understand? Or I gotta go see a whole bunch of people trying to suck my toes and shit like that. I'm not caught up like that. He's like, very strong women need to have an alternative way of being able to experience things. I was like, I'm good just the way I am. Okay. Please do not try to be my psychiatrist, because if you were a psychiatrist, you would not be my psychiatrist. You know what I'm saying? It was weird. It was the weirdest shit ever. But he was like, Elisa, he's a person. Now, mind you, he told me straight out of all of this shit, this man does not have sex with women or men he's never really been sexually active a lot with any woman. All he's been is this strange shit. Whipping on women and massaging them and then taking them to locking them up and doing that kind of crazy shit. When I'm like, he's like, I have my playmates, and he was very honest. I have my playmates, and I'm like, bro, grown-ups don't call they significant others or people they date playmates, but that's what he called them. Well, and see, that's the thing, Miss Shirley. I had to call my roommate and ask her, exactly why did you leave this person alone? And she was like, girl, that motherfucker was crazy. I was like, she's like, he sat up here he was like using all kind of toys and shit on me and trying to lock me up. She's like, he did that one time, trying to tie her ass up. And she said, that motherfucker hit me with a fucking whip. And I was done. I was like, so that's why you didn't say anything. I'm like, that's what I did. I shouldn't have went nowhere with this motherfucker. I'm like, I really wish you would have said so. She's like, she was too embarrassed to say that she had went through an episode like that. I was like, well, I really wish you would have said something to your girl that used to stay in the same room with your ass. Okay. Now, adventures with going out with friends in the gay community. you know you're gonna always have your people who don't agree with that lifestyle, okay? And at this time of my life, and I have to give you the understanding of where I was at this time of life, I had just came off of being sexually assaulted, and I was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, if you understand what I mean. I was really ready to fuck people up, all right, with no hesitation, not thinking at all. I mean, and I already could do a good damage, a good decent damage to a male or a female fighting. Okay, so I was not really scared of anybody. But with things, put it like this: there are some women that can actually box somebody. With me, I am not an equal. I'm not an equal opportunity boxer. I'm an equal opportunity grab some shit and bang your ass with it type person. You know what I'm saying? I'm the bitch that's gonna hit you with a chair. Okay, that's just me. Whatever's near me is going. You gonna get fucked up with it. So that's just me. All right. And I think very strategically of how I'm going to do this type of shit. So at this time, the girl in the cave was not really in the cave. She's just kind of walking next to a bitch at this point. I hadn't put her in the cave yet, so understand the mind frame. And I'm very protective of my friends. All right. So one particular night, we all had a ball in the club. I'm never one to get ridiculously drunk. I always stay mellow because I have to watch the other drunks in my crew. All right, other original gangsters, which all of them get fucked up drunk. And I'm the only one that's pretty much sober. All right. Now, with me, I have fun because I'm a natural person having fun. So we come out of the club. And there's this group of guys, white guys, that keep on messing with the people that are outside. Now, during the club days in Chicago, you had your people who were too broke to get in the club that were usually out in the parking lot, okay, or people who just wanted to hang out outside of a club, okay. The club was letting out, so you can understand how many people are out there now. And they're out there doing their normal, you're a bunch of fucking fags and da 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 da, and doing shit. And we happened to walk out, and one of them threw a drink that basically exploded on my clothes. Now, they have been keeping on trying to bother people. People are like, most gay people don't want no static. They don't want that smoke. So, but me, in my mind frame at that time, yeah, I want that smoke. I'm that bitch. Okay. So I went from, hey, how you doing? Having laughing and joking with my friends to the bitch in the cave coming out straightforward. And I'm like, who the fuck threw this shit? And he's like, I did, you fucking lesbian bitches, you motherfucking da 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 da. And I said, come over here and talk this shit. Now, mind you, at this time, I used to carry these things called, I modified an extended monkey fist. I'm not sure if you ladies know what that is. That's a self-defense piece of material. It's not a material. It's a steel ball that's wrapped up inside of material that's braided up. And it cannot be broken. I don't give a fuck what you do to it. It can't be broken. I carry a monkey fist to this day. Now, I extended it where you could wrap it around your hand. And when you let it go, bing, put it like this. If I hit you with that motherfucker, I could crack your face. I could crack the bones. I could shatter the bones in your skull. Okay? This is dangerous. So that's one reason why you go to jail for having a monkey fist. But it's damn good woman self-defense if you need it. And if you want to hit somebody and fuck them up and run. So I ended up dude was like, he said, what the fuck you say? What the fuck you say? He walked up, he got right in good, and we got right in that good length, that good distance. And he sat up there and said, bitch, I'll fucking wham. It's like, oh, she hit this bitch. He went down. I mean, he went down because I know it hit a bone. And when he went down, he was like, let's get this bitch. Let's get this bitch. I was like, oh, we gonna get this bitch. So actually the monkey fist can extend. So I went around his neck and put my foot in his back. And I said, any one of you motherfuckers touch me, I'm gonna fucking crack his shit. And then my friends are sitting here looking at me like, what the fuck? Like, what is she doing? Corey was like, Pat. I was like, any one of you motherfuckers touch me, I'm gonna snap his shit like a motherfucking twig. And he was like, let her go, leave her alone, leave her alone. I'm like, I was like, you need to get the fuck up off this block right now. You need to get the fuck up off this block. I'm like, cause I'm that bitch that'll kill your ass. Literally, get the fuck off the block. And everybody's like, yeah. So it's some bigger guys. I said, I'm finna let him go. Y'all need to hold him till we get the fuck up out of here. So the gay boys that was there, they held him, and his other friends was like, we gonna get these motherfuckers. We gonna get these motherfuckers. One dude called himself coming from the other way. Corey was standing not that far from me. And when I got ready to let him go, I went in Corey had a beard and he snuck out the fucking club. I was just cracked his ass with the motherfucking beard thing. And Corey was like, bitch. We all took off running. It's like, we gonna die tonight. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why did you do this? They just threw a bottle at us. That's all they did. I'm like, the motherfuckers don't fuck with me and my friends. We were running. Literally running. Luckily, we parked down the street around the corner. So we all getting in the fucking car, y'all. We all getting out the car. We all getting in the car. Everybody quiet in the motherfucker looking at me. And I'm just driving. I'm like, what? And they was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, that motherfucker threw a bottle at me and all that shit got on my clothes. Corey's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, they were harassing us like they was fucking with us. They was like, I get that. But you turned from the girl that we know to a bitch we have never met before. Like, we ain't never met that before. He was like, Pat, I'm sorry. Your voice changed. Your eye color changed. And he was, I've never seen nobody move this fast in my life. And he's like, what the fuck happened to you? And I was like, what do you mean what happened to me? He was like, for real, y'all. I mean, we got far enough away where nobody could find us. He's like, pull this motherfucker over. We need to talk. He's like, what happened to you? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, look, these people will hurt you. Y'all don't understand. Y'all are gay. I'm not. I'm like, I don't understand why y'all mad at me. He's like, we not mad at you. We want to find out who the fuck are you right now? Because the bitch that was out there on that corner is not the bitch that's standing here right now. So I actually had to explain to them what had happened to me. They was like, oh, okay. They were like, note to self, don't fuck with Pat at all. You know, it's like, this bitch, it's nuts. We've had some, I'm telling you, them gay people be out there are people that in Chicago that literally come to them clubs and harass gay people. And I've seen it many times, okay? And I've seen them do horrible things to gay people. And I'm one of them, I'm telling you, I just had that cutoff switch and it went there. And this is when I was younger. So yeah, I told y'all I wasn't out quite there. So anybody that wanted to rah-rah, bitch, I am there. The game has started. You understand what I'm saying? So they didn't come, them boys never came back to that club again. But my friends was like, that's the first time they said there's Pat and then there's that other bitch. You don't want to see that other bitch. Like, that other bitch is scary. Really, really, really scary. But I had to calm myself down because of the fact that I had to realize, and Corey said, he said, Pat, you are angry, and it's obvious you're angry. He's like, but you could really hurt somebody. And I was like, I was trying to. What are you talking about? I was really trying to hurt him. No, he's like, no, bitch, you could have murdered that motherfucker right there. And he said, I think you were so violent. The other guys was like, no, we're not fucking with him. But we ran our asses off, y'all. You would have known. You talking about bitch running some heels. I was running my ass off next to these fools. And we got in the car and it was cool. Next episode was, you know how you talk about people in the club and then there's a backfiring of it when it happens to you and your people. Well, we were in the club one night and all of us are dancing, like it's four of us. So it's two boys, two girls. So we got one boy, right? It's me, then a boy, then Regina, then Corey, and all us dancing in the line. We having a great time. And all of a sudden, there's somebody always fighting in the club. He's like, it's always a late bitch up in this motherfucker trying to fight up in the club. And lo and behold, that late bitch is your friend. We all sit up here like, hey, how you doing? And all of a sudden there's this scuffling happening over to the side of us. And we was like, who the fuck is up in here with just childish in here just fighting? And all of a sudden we look and it's Corey. We're like, what the fuck is going on? Corey never fights anybody. He's the sweetest person in our entire group. So we're sitting there like, oh my God, it's Corey. So we go over there and try to break everything up. Weirdo here, I already got a fucking beer bottle on standby. Okay? So I'm like, pat, back off. So anyway, the first thing we break them up, and first thing Corey does is pop up and say, how's my hair? Is my hair okay? I was like, your hair is fine. Why are you fighting in the club? And it was one of his so-called a guy that really liked him a lot, but Corey did not dig him at all. And he got a little too physical with Corey and threw a hit. And then Corey basically they went to fight. And Corey's like, bitch, is my hair okay? Is my face okay? Did that heifer actually, did he scratch my face? I was like, why get in the fight if you're going to go through all of that? Okay? So he's like, honey, you are fine. And then, the bouncers come in and like, oh, y'all got to go. We didn't even do nothing though. It's like, we stopped the fight. He was like, y'all got to go. So we get kicked out of the club early. So everybody's looked like, oh my God, the Fab Four have gotten kicked out of the club. So we are walking to the car. It was like, well, we'll find another club to go to or whatever. This crazy ass boy comes back out talking hella crazy still. And we ignore him because I'm looking at him. I'm like, he ain't ready. I'm like, Corey can handle that situation. We like, you need to go wherever you're going and leave us alone. We would get to the car. Now, mind you, I had just got me a little purple car, my little Barney car, everybody called it, because it was the color of Barney, literally. And I just got a car. This motherfucker, the crazy little boy that was in the club trying to fight out my friend, he throws a damn beer bottle. Damn near hits my car, like literally missed my car by that much. Because he had got in his car, literally got in his car, and then threw a beer bottle from the driver's side of the car at us. I was like, all of a sudden, there's the bitch in the cave. He called himself, get back in that car. I came in through the passenger side window, literally choking his ass. Motherfucker, I just got this motherfucking car. You gonna throw some shit in my motherfucking car? He caught himself driving with me hanging out the passenger side window. I was like, oh my God, let's go kill him now. Please stop the car. I said, you better stop this motherfucker. We gonna crash together, bitch. You ready to die? You ready to die? Stop the car. Oh, let me go. I got out the window. And Corey and it was like, that same look. I said, Corey, you need to find you some lovers that's got some sense. Cause I'm gonna literally go kill this motherfucker next time I see him. He stayed looking at me like, Pat, we are not in an action movie. We are not in an action movie. Do you understand? You could have fell out that fucking car and hurt yourself. I didn't even think about any of this. So later on that night, meanwhile, again, we laughed at this shit now, but I wasn't wrapped too tight at that time. Y'all gotta understand. So meanwhile, later on that night, I get a phone call after I get dropped off, and Corey goes home about maybe 2 hours later. Not even 2 hours later, an hour and a half later, he calls me, telling Pat, "Cause you come to my house. I think this guy is trying to break into my home." Now this motherfucker done went full psycho. Okay, I'm like, how the fuck did he find out where you live at? He was like, I made a mistake of inviting him over here. I was like, oh my God. So I was like, do I need to bring something? He was like, Pat, don't bring nothing. Of course, that gonna bring the bang, 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 bang. So I get there and I said, you need to call the police. That's who you need to call right now. Because if I bring my ass there, it's gonna be a hot time in motherfucking Chicago on the north side. So he was like, no. He's like, I said, I'm gonna come, but you need to call the police. So I finally sit up here. I finally to come up. I actually come up there, and he is literally scared of this boy. He actually had to move because this boy was like stalking him, going crazy. Yeah, it was deep, but that was the funniest. I think that was the one that all of us remember the most. Is that going out to the club and then being fighting in the club, talking about late bitches at the club fighting, and then we end up being them late bitches that's outside doing sets and shows. We the ones that's late this time. But yeah, those are my strange going out to club stories that are a mess. And hanging out with gay friends, and believe it or not, hanging out with gay friends at times in some places can be very dangerous. It really can. Chicago. Honestly, I am so happy that at some point I got my head on straight and dealt with what was wrong with me, because I was very dangerous. I'm like, literally, I think one particular time I dated a guy, I liked him a lot, but he got physical with me one time because I wanted to leave and he didn't want me to leave. And I will never forget, he was a DJ and he started grabbing on me. I'm like, dude, don't ever put your hands on me like that. I'm really not a big person on people being physical with me. Don't do that. Now I'm warning you, don't do that. He had a mic wire near, you know how you hook up the mics and you can talk on them, and they had the wires. He had that laying on his floor. He caught himself grabbing me by the back of my coat to bring me back in the house. And when I fell down, I saw the wire. And he caught himself, I think trying to get something to sit me down, and he was down low enough. I grabbed a wire, came up another way, came up the opposite way, and turned around, put the wire around his neck, and told him I will fucking kill you if you ever put my fucking hands, put your hands on. He said, like, yeah, good. I was like, motherfucker, if you ever put your hands on me again, I will fucking kill you. Do you understand what I'm saying? I advise you let me walk up out of this motherfucking house. Never speak to me again as long as you fucking live. You understand? And he was like, I was like, I said, do I understand? Hit the flow, motherfucker, if you understand. Yeah, let him go. And I ran my ass about that motherfucking house. I was like, no. You don't do that to me. I'm really funny about men beating and hitting on me. I'm like, once you go to that part and put your hands on me, now the bitch in the cave, that bitch gonna come out. She like strangling motherfuckers for some reason. So like I said, I'm sorry. I'm like, I can't do nothing with a man up front. But don't let me get your ass from behind. But I mean, there are some men that like being physical and showing their strength with certain women, and I'm not that bitch. I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, I have triggers. You know what I'm saying? But it's called the monkey fist. That's the monkey fist story. The monkey fist story. So I already told that story, like, but at the end of the day, that was the that was the Mike Wire story. But he didn't fuck with me on that level no more ever again. Not like that. We still cool. We friends. We say hi from a distance, but he knows it's certain men. I guess you have to show that you're not one of the women that's gonna be like, oh, don't hit me type shit. No, you just triggered some shit that you didn't know was even about me. You know, like, you don't know me. Like, you don't fucking know me for real. Right, you're right, Warren. It's post traumatic, it's PTSD, post traumatic syndrome. You know what I'm saying? And that shit ain't no game. That ain't no fucking game right there. It literally something to take you back to a point, and it's fight or flight. And for me, I'm finna fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going down like I did before. So that there's a part of me that remembers what happened and how it happened and every blow that I took. And honestly, I was like, bruh, that I'm not that chick to do that shit with. I'm not that chick. You understand? And like I said, there's some women that shrivel up, and then there's some women that say, "Come on, motherfucker, I'm about to roast that turkey for your ass." You understand what I'm saying? Come on, let's get down. Let's get it down. Let's get it on. Let's do this. We finna dance. Let's dance, motherfucker. And I'm one of them bitches that's gonna be like, "Hey, let's dance." You know what I'm saying? You done sit up there and bought the ingredients, bitch. Let's cook up this meal because I'm finna fuck your ass up for real. You know, so I know what I'm one of those women that been there, done that. And then when you have women that get in those situations where they get scared in those type of situations, they don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And then they shut down completely. Some people shut down completely. And I'm not one of them people. Or that shit wakes up that bitch in the cage. You like, never again, motherfucker, never again. I'm gonna kill your ass. I'm taking revenge out for the other motherfucker that got away. So and it's strange because when you find men like that, I think I had one guy that was trying to date me, and he called himself getting himself woofed up to, say some crazy shit and go into his mode because later on I found out he beat every woman that he was with. And when he tried that shit with me, he met another bitch. He wasn't ready for it. You understand? I didn't know his past of being with women. Cause see, those kind of men hide who they are. For one. Number one, they hide who they are. Number two, you have to be around them long enough before they start showing the monster. But see, what most men like that don't understand is it's women out here who have monsters too. Don't And when they run into a woman that has a monster, that has dealt with a monster like that before, you might be in for more than you could chew. Okay, more than with him, he was in for more than he could chew because he was at my house and he called himself getting angry because my daughter was taking a while to get something together for me, and I guess he wanted to hurry up and go. Now, mind you, we riding in my car, so what the fuck is your problem? If I'm telling her get something done for me, I need her to get that done for me before we leave. Just sit back and chill. And I knew what time he said he needed to be someplace, so I'm pretty good with time. So I'm like, we got enough time to get there. And he's getting more and more antsy. So he called himself. I said, man, calm down. Who are you telling to calm down? You don't tell me to calm down. And I'm like, now this is me sitting back. Now this is me with the bitch in the cave that I'll tell her when to come out. Okay. And he's starting to, and then he sits up here, I'm a type of person, I will run this, I do this, I mean, he's just getting himself riled up. And I'm sitting up here saying to myself, now he's sitting up here, and then he started talking about bitches. Now you in my house. Well, I know where everything is. You don't even know what I got in my house. I got quite a few things in my house. And you talking crazy. That's the dumbest shit ever. I said, Jasmine, go get my nigga corrector out of the room. She said, yes, ma'am. He like, what the fuck you talking about, nigga corrector? Jasmine came out there, motherfucker, that big ass punk we called a bitch. I said, this is Miss Bitch. This is what we call the nigga corrector. Who the fuck you think you talking to up in here? Up in this motherfucker. Who you think you talking to? This my house. And he was like, I'm like, you can your ass on out that motherfucking door, dude. So you die up in this motherfucker because you got the right one. I said, see, I'm not a motherfucker that you gonna call yourself balling your fists up and getting all swole up in the motherfucking chest with. You will find your ass with a bunch of holes in your ass up in here. So get the fuck on up out my house. Go ahead. Get your little shit, get your little bag, get the fuck on. Consider yourself blessed. Because you was about to meet Jesus in 30 fucking seconds, and you was gonna have to explain why the fuck you there to him. That dude, he was like, he like, I ain't fucking with you no more. And then later on, when I came to get something from his parents' house, I had let them use a folding table of mine for an event or something. They sat up there and said, has he ever tried to get physical with you? I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, oh, he hits women. He beats the shit out of his child's mom. They're not together, but he beats the shit out of her regularly. I'm like, is that right? I said, that explains something. That explains something. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, he called himself getting right. Yeah, he gets really violent. He even tries to hit on me as his mama. I said, well, he ain't hit on me. He damn near got his ass blown the fuck away. Oh, she's like, oh, you one of them types. I'm like, yeah, I'm one of them types. I'll fuck your ass up. I said, well, thank you for my table. Y'all have a nice life. What'd you say, Pat? Jay says you're the character who shows up in the fight scenes. The audience can see that you're badass with the guys making fun of your looks and small. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But no, but you have to understand, I've always been a very peaceful person. I'm very peaceful. It's just that you ever seen those kids in class that they sit there and people will shove them and do this and that to them, and then you get tired. They get tired of it, and then they get up and commit to whooping your ass. I was that kid. And I used to get chased home, all kinds of stuff, until my mother made me say, you know what? You gonna stop running your ass up in this house, and you finna fight. She brought me back outside to this little girl, this ugly ass little girl. I swear, I had cute little ponytails, and my auntie would put beads and shit in my hair. This bitch had one little fucking ponytail in the middle of her damn head, and the rest of it was bald, and she was always fucking with me. And to this day, she's fucking with you because she was ugly and she's bad. But I mean, she always messed with me. And I was like, I am a quiet kid. I don't say too much of nothing. I stay to myself, draw my little pictures, listen to my little music or whatever. And I just love to just dance and talk about Prince when I was a kid. And I would honestly get harassed on a regular basis by this ugly ass girl. Okay, who's still ugly to this day, y'all. That bitch is ain't no words. Okay, so I'm like, why would she just constantly bother me? And one day she kept on muffing me in my head and bothering me, and stuff like that. I think one day she had one thing on me. She saw my mother buy my clothes from the Salvation Army for school. And my mom was never big on name brand shit. Okay, I grew up with kids that they got, at the time, Nikes or Adidas and all this other shit was big. And what was it, Gloria Vanderbilt's, Gloria Vanderbilt jeans? Y'all remember that shit? Bonjour and all this other shit. Those were the jeans that were out, or either the what do you call it, the pinstripe jeans that had the different colors. Those were clothes that my mom could not afford for us. So we got fucking Wanglers. Okay? We got Wanglers. All right. But this ugly goddamn it looking bitch, she sat up here and would fuck with me constantly. Now, mind you, she lived in a project. I lived in an apartment. I didn't know no differences in how people lived. Okay, my grandpa family had a house. I didn't understand project living ever. Okay, but this bitch was mad she lived in projects. Okay, it got shit to do with me. But we came to school looking decent every day. We would clean, our clothes were clean. It's just that no, my mom could not afford to buy our shit from the stores where kids' jeans is costing $30 and shit. My mother was not like that. All right. So she would sit there and she would bother me at lunch. My mother was a lunchroom lady, and my mother's friends would always give me lunchroom cookies. This bitch would steal my motherfucking cookies. She'd do all kind of shit to me. Then try to block me into the bathroom. And that's when I had to thank God for my badass sister, because my sister got in trouble on a regular. Okay, she loved to fucking fight. She one of them bitches that anything, she was one of them scruffles. She had, my legs to this day have no scars on them. Men were like, oh my God, you have the most beautiful legs. My sister looked like her ass been crawling through glass her whole life. And that's because she liked to fight. Okay, now my sister saved me one time, my little sister. She's only 3 years younger than me. She saw this girl cornering me in the bathroom, and I'm sitting up here like, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing to you. And my sister came over there and drug her ass, beat shit out of her in the girl's bathroom and tell me, you go ahead, Lee, don't let nobody beat you up. Okay. And that was that. And my mom got tired of this situation happening because I was get to the point where I would say I was sick. I don't want to go to school. I want to stay with Granny and them, whatever. And she's like, well, we're not having that shit. You finna go, we finna walk over to this ugly little bitch house and you finna fight her right now. And my mother knew I knew how to fight because me and my sister would get into it all the time. Okay, and I beat the shit out of my own sister. So she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you not beating the shit out of these raggedy ass kids? So we go, the little girl in the playground and shit like that. And she's like, she saw me and she had no problem walking up, talking shit. And I'm looking at mama and mama was like, whoop her ass. Whoop her ass, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Now I didn't want to stay for one of my mama's ass whoops. My mama's ass whoops was no game. So I was like, okay. This ugly fucking goddamn one barrette bitch walking up saying, man, I gotta talking shit. That's why you ain't shit. You ain't got no daddy, da 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 da. My mom was like, oh, you gonna need to whoop her ass. You gonna need to whoop her ass right now. She ain't gonna do nothing. This is how disrespectful this little girl was talking to my mom. Now, when she said that to my mother, something just went up in my spirit. And mom was like, I told you that before she could say whoop her ass, I was, oh, that bitch like, When then I went into crazy mode. I was like, I grabbed that one little tiny little braid that she had on the top of her head, just kept on wanging it into the ground, into the fucking floor, into the damn playground gravel. It's like, I was like, okay, break it up. You know, went crazy. So I'm banging this girl's head against the goddamn playground thing. I was like, okay, you got some weird shit with you. But she made me come out of that shell of letting people bully me and say that's not for it to happen. If somebody's doing something to your little sister, your cousins, or anybody like that, that's when you whoop their ass. She's like, and when they put their hands on you, you whoop their ass. I'm gonna whoop your ass. And that was the end of that. I didn't get beat up no more. I had guys that tried to fight. I have a very strange nickname. And I tried very hard not for people to find out what my nickname was. And my nickname is Mush. So M-U-S-H, Mush. And at that time, Little Rascals had a thing, the mush is spoiled. You know what I'm saying? They named me Mush because I was a soft baby. And to this life, and until this point in life, I have the strangely soft skin. It's really strange. And they called me Mush because I didn't feel real. And most people looking at me like, you are so mean. I know when I lay on you, like, you feel like a big ass pillow. And it's not because I'm fat or anything. It's just, that's just my skin texture. And these boys heard my family call me Much. So they would sit up there and make fun of me at school. And I had this one boy, and his name's Anton Ware. I'll never forget his ass ever in 4th grade. He used to keep calling me that and teasing me and teasing me. And at this point, I'm not scared of people anymore. So what ends up happening is that he sits up here and pushes me in the back. What you gonna do, Mush? What you gonna do, Mush mouth? And stuff. And he's steady bothering me. So he has this little slight afro. And there I go again. Grabbed that fucking head and went bam, 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 bam. I got rolled up and sent home for head slamming into a desk, a little boy who the teacher said actually deserved it. She was slightly happy I did that. She told me I was really happy she slammed shit at the little boy. I can't stand that little boy. But yeah, I'm the bitch. I invented the head slamming to the desk. Mom was like, you gonna get enough of that shit. But yeah. Being harassed inside of I got harassed in high school too. I hated that. But I got harassed by guys, gang banging guys that were not brave enough, I'll say, to say they liked me. Okay, in my freshman year of high school, and this was the strangest thing because the guy lived like right next door in the next apartment building next door to us. And he had this friend named George Bledsoe. I'll never forget that ugly motherfucker. I hated him. And every time I came out of school, this guy said they would always be out there heckling me as soon as I came across. I lived across the street from the high school, so I didn't have far to walk. They just kept bothering me. And then finally, I got tired of it one day. And I just walked up to him. I'm like, what you gonna do? You always talking shit. Come ahead, do something. Let's do something. I'm gonna fuck your ass up. And dude was like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And before I knew it, the hand went boop. And I was like, I didn't even realize what I did it myself. Punched the dude in the damn nose, and all of a sudden he got blood coming out of the nose. He was like, and this was George Bledsoe, and the guy that was with him, he was like, damn, dude, you gonna let her do that? So now I'm scared as hell. And the first thing came into my mind was, run. I literally ran my ass off back to the house. I was downstairs like, not, man, imagine, they know where the fuck I live at. So it's not like, I'm like, I'm never going to be able to come outside again because these is gang bangers, they going to get me or whatever. The next time I kept going through the alley to come in the house. So I avoided them for a good month, thinking this shit was over with. And dude came at me again when they saw me again, and it was hilarious. It was hilarious. They sit up there like, you are like, yeah, you hit my boy, you did this and that, and some just told me, hit both of these motherfuckers again. Boom, boom. I hit them both and ran before they could do anything. So that was hilarious. And then finally, I think when I was inside of class, I ended up, don't you look cute? Oh my God. Y'all always come down here.
She didn't want to leave without
saying bye. Oh, wow. Y'all got to look at this little girl. She got on one of my favorite outfits.
She said she has
look style. At this sweater. Look at this sweater. Isn't it the cutest thing set up? Isn't that cute? Don't you love these sleeves? Oh, my goodness.
And she wants to see her Gigi at her computer talking to her.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
You get ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, have a good time, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Say, everybody, see you later.
See you later.
Come on.
All right. All right, you all look cute. Nice jacket. I see it. It's cute. Bye. Get out of here. Oh, it's cute.
See you. Adios. Bye.
All right. Did you see that sweater? Isn't that cute? It came out so cute. Oh my God. I'm like, I'm going to have to get that. We're going to have to look like twins, y'all. But anyway, what ends up happening is that by the time he ends up getting in one of my art classes, so I'm like, oh my God, he's in an art class with me. One of the gangbangers that was bothering me. He's in an art class, and he wasn't doing so well in the art class, and our teacher was a jerk. So he kept bothering him and, like fronting him off in front of everybody in the classroom. And I was like, dude, look, you do this, and he won't say nothing. And you know what I'm saying? So he listened and he looked at me. And then I think after I did that, helped him in class and went on about my way, about my business, George Bledsoe was outside again trying to start some shit with me. And dude was like, man, leave her alone. She cool. So I got out of that by being nice. And believe it or not, later on, I was I was always on the dean's list. Not the dean's list, but the honor roll in high school. So he was like, my family, I want to make my mama happy. And this is the guy that was in my art class. He's like, and she had like 12 kids and none of them had graduated out of high school. And he said, I want to make my mama happy. And I want her to, I want to graduate. And like, could you help me by tutoring me in some of my studies and stuff like that? And I was like, okay. I'm like, y'all can't be fucking with me. And he was like, ain't nobody going to fuck with you again. And strangely enough, we got to be friends. I helped him get on the honor roll. He got on the honor roll. His mom was so happy. And he did graduate with me. And we went to prom together. Yes. Me and the gangbanger went to prom together. To this day, the same people who bullied me, and to this day, he is still head over heels about me. He's got his own tattoo parlor here in Chicago, and he is married, but he is still head over heels about me to this day. I didn't even know he liked me. He said, that's why we bothered you, because we liked you. He said the last day he said George Bledsoe wasn't gonna let that ride. He said he had to beat his ass for him to leave me alone. So yeah, those are my times in high school, getting bullied and stuff like that. So I don't like people who bully people. I don't like people who bother people because they are different. That is not my style at all. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, we're going into the hour and a half. But those are my crazy ass stories of hanging out with Pat and me, you know, dealing with bullies, and then I'm not a person that's gonna stand by and watch somebody else bully someone else at all. And oh, and if you want to see a picture of how I used to look in the club days, there I was clubbing. I don't look much different. Still love the blonde and the black hair. Now that's my hair, but that was me. And I swear, you know what? I don't know what it is about this time, but everybody and their mama wants to sit up here and have my attention when I am literally on here with you guys. And it just blows me. It really does. Oh, wow. You guys, I am going to have to break this. I'm going to have to break this conversation. I got something I got to go into. See you guys next Saturday, okay? And we'll be back to talk to some more stuff. God of Fantasy is a good one, and Rule the World is another one that I'm watching. So I will see you guys next Saturday. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.